So there are a ton of videos that start with, I get asked all the time about the thing I want to talk about. And it always seems a little sus. A little like, probably nobody asked that, but they needed an opener. Well, one of you actually did ask me to make a video about villains, and here it is. Let this be a lesson to you. Ask, and maybe eventually if I get around to it, ye shall receive. So villains. A great villain can make a story awesome, all on their own. If you want to write a story and you're not sure where to start, a solid villain is an excellent starting place. Here are my 5 tips for making them better. Tip 1. The Betrayal shortcut. The fastest, easiest way to make a villain which the audience or players will loathe is with betrayal. People do not easily forgive a double cross. And the secret to setting up a really gut-wrenching betrayal is trust. The more the audience trusts the villain before the betrayal, the more angry they will be when it comes. That anger can then fuel the emotional impact of the entire story. So make the villain inspire trust. Make them genuinely helpful, humble, likable. Make them save the day when the party is in need. Give them moments of emotional vulnerability. Then once you've got it, twist the knife deep and hard. Long John Silver in the book Treasure Island does this masterfully, one of my favorite examples. The only catch is you can only do this shortcut once, maybe twice, before your audience gets really stingy with their trust. 3 times if you're clever. Bonus points if all 3 betraying villains have almost the same name all 3 times, and your players still get caught off guard the 3rd time. Oh, it was glorious. And yeah, they were mad at me, but they were more mad at themselves. Oh, it felt so good. Anyway, tip 2. Consistent competence. Great villains need to be genuinely good at something. Not everything, but if they're not good at anything, it's hard to take them seriously. Villains that can't back up their hype with results, at least sometimes, quickly become kinda lame. That's why lots of stories give the villain a dramatic early victory. It's a great way to set up conflict and stakes, and it makes the villain into a credible threat. The movie Dark Knight does this super well. It introduces the Joker with a badass bank robbery, and then continues to give him victories as the movie progresses. This is important. The villain doesn't have to win all the time, but they should stay consistently competent. Honestly, I think this is the reason people loved the ending of Rogue One so much. If you don't know, there's a scene at the end of the movie Rogue One where Darth Vader kills a bunch of rebel soldiers. It has nothing to do with the story at all. It's completely disjointed, and yet it is among the best scenes in the movie. The reason I liked it so much was because Darth Vader as a character desperately needed some on-screen competence, and that scene delivered it. Super late, but better late than never. So make your villains good at something, and keep them good at it all the way to the end. Don't let them get suddenly stupid and feeble at the end just because it's time for the heroes to start winning. If you're tempted to do that, consider giving the villain a fatal flaw instead. They can and should have weaknesses too. Consistent weaknesses, please, established ahead of time. Being flawed is not the opposite of being competent. Being inconsistent, though, breaks immersion. Tip 3. Relatable villains. A relatable villain is perhaps the hardest kind of villain to write, and my personal favorite. The audience has to understand why they would make the decisions they make. When done well, the audience should wonder, if only briefly, would I have done the same thing? And that thought is what makes a relatable villain so scary. Relatable villains are in many ways like normal people. They never see themselves as evil. They may know others see them as a villain, but to them that is just another sacrifice they've made in service of whatever purpose drives them. They usually fully believe they are doing the right thing. They are often deeply principled. There are lines they won't cross, principles they hold more dearly even than winning. They might believe they do bad things for good reasons. Magneto, from the early aughts X-Men movies, is one of my favorite examples. He experienced the Holocaust and believed he was seeing the same thing again. He believed war was inevitable and was determined to be on the winning side this time. The heroes disagreed with him and fought him, but often respected him too. And deep down, I know some of them couldn't help but wonder, what if he's right? If that's the question your audience asks, you've done it. Tip 4. Pure evil motivations. A pure evil villain is the opposite of a relatable villain. They have no higher purpose, no delusions that they aren't the bad guy. They are evil, they know it, and they love it. Now, if your story is for kids, that might be enough. No further motivation necessary. But if you want to make a great pure evil villain, make their motivations one step more complex. The Joker from The Dark Knight is trying to make a point. He wants everyone to know that he's not a freak. That deep down, everyone is the same as he is, and they're all just one bad day away from realizing it. GLaDOS from the video game Portal claims she's doing it all for science, but it quickly becomes clear she's a sadist. Cruelty is fun for her, which is why she takes such care and glee in her vicious passive-aggressive remarks. But my favorite example is Captain Hook from the 1991 film Hook. Yes, he is evil, pure evil. There's a scene where he's sneaking through the night and he notices a fairy, uninvolved, unrelated to his goals, minding her own business. Hook sneaks up behind her and whispers in her ear, "I don't believe in fairies," just to watch her die. Oh, so evil. But that's not his motivation. That's his personality, but it's not why he gets up in the morning. The thing he wants more than anything is a war with Peter Pan. The best part of the movie is an early scene where Hook realizes he can kill Peter quite easily without a proper fight. He's won. He's so disappointed. It's the worst thing that could possibly have happened to him. He orders Pan's execution with such heartbroken sadness in his voice because the war is cancelled. It is a masterful moment of storytelling. So yes, pure evil villains can be amazing, but even they are best with a clear motivation. Give them something very specific they want and let it guide everything they do. Tip 5. Let them burn. So you've done all this work to make a villain, and it's time for them to fall. Not every story has to end that way, of course, but if yours does, take time to savor that defeat. Don't end it too quickly. This is the payoff, the catharsis from all the negative emotions you've been stoking in your audience. A great fall is part of being a great villain. Don't just make them lose, make them sorry. Use poetic justice. If they were proud, humiliate them. Force GLaDOS to be helpful and a potato. Let their greatest victory become their undoing. Make Gus Fring, in his final moment of triumph over Hector Salamanca, realize too late that he has been fooled, and all his planning and all his carefulness was for nothing. Destroy them with their deepest desire. Make Gollum leap after the One Ring into the fires of Mount Doom. Make them watch everything they built crumble. Give Azula a scene where she is yelling at her own hair, as even her mind, always focused and calm before, begins to fray and betray her as well. My favorite example of this is the fight between Roy Mustang and Envy from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. By the end of the series, Envy has earned a ton of ire from the audience. And at first, it felt great to watch him burn, but as his suffering continued and kept getting more and more intense, it was enough to make me question, how much is enough? Surely some amount of suffering is enough. Again, masterful storytelling. So yes, burn your villains. This is their moment of true triumph, their purpose even. Let their final failure be as satisfying as possible. And hey, if you do it just right, you might even get a redeemed villain out the other side. If you want to hear more about stories and world building, come check out my Discord channel. I am Silas Silver, and until next time, toodles.